Welcome back to Real Talk with Closer Control, the show where we sit down with real investors doing real estate and actually talk about what's actually happening in the market. So it's just honest stories, smart systems, and also the wins and losses that actually shape the journey. Today, I'm joined by Carey Howard, an investor who's been making serious moves in the wholesale as well as real estate space. So if you guys are ready, let's get right into it. So thank you so much for joining with us today, Carey, for episode 6 of Real Talk with Closer Control. So can you give us a small introduction about yourself and tell us a little bit about your investing as well as wholesaling journey?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it all started 20 years ago with a dream. I went to a real estate meetup and got bit, and then I had a life full of distractions that ended up delaying me getting started. I really took action at the beginning of this year. So January 6th, I signed my first deal, just hit the ground running.
So obviously you've been very recent into the market and you already had a good success, basically a good start off to the market also, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I've had multiple businesses, some good, some bad. I've sold companies before. And so it was just time. It was time to get started. I had actually met Connor with Closer Control some time ago back with Brent Daniels. I signed up for a mentorship with him through TTP. That's really how I found out about this,
Okay, that's great. And what markets are you currently focusing on right now? Is there any particular space or particular area which you are targeting more?
Absolutely. Yeah. So when we started with a wide net. We were active in 7 different states. And what we realized is we need to scale back, create systems and processes, and focus. So we currently focus in Maryland and Pennsylvania, but we have done deals in Ohio, Virginia, Florida, Texas, Oklahoma. I feel like I'm missing.
So that basically means you are obviously there on most of the hottest real estate markets right now, trying to see how it goes, right? Yeah. And what would you say is one of the biggest opportunities in the real estate space you are noticing while you are also exploring your journey in the market as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think creativity is where it's all at. There are so many deals that we would say no to if it was just a traditional purchase. But really listening to what a seller needs and then providing a solution, that's where I think our biggest opportunity has been.
In order to basically follow up with leads, follow up with contacts, are you using any particular CRM system? Or do you have an inbuilt CRM system in-house for you?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, so I mean, our journey started off with a Go High Level product through another user. And also I worked with a previous company that had another Go High Level product. And both of them worked outside of the traditional way I think this program was designed. That's when I found Closer Control. Game changer, I'll say. For our business. Yeah. Just the way that our leads are interacted with through the way that Closer Control has designed it has been so helpful.
Got it. I mean, that's great to hear. Obviously, that we are so happy to hear that a client of ours is obviously happy with the system. So, I mean, we are trying our best to make sure that we give our customers the best experience possible. And another question I think which actually keeps popping in my head is obviously I know you have not been in the market for such a long time, but then based on the time which you have been exploring right now, can you share one of the most successful deal which you have done?
There are several, but the first one I did that comes to mind, I think is what really got us so excited about, helping people. I had spoke with a seller. She was in the process of a divorce. She was living out of state, had a home in Pennsylvania, and that home was in foreclosure, had tenants that were not paying. So you can imagine there's a lot of stuff going on there. And by listening to her needs, we were able to provide a solution for every step of the way. So that's probably my most exciting deal because we got them out of foreclosure right before the bank took it. They had a ton of stuff in this house that was still theirs. We got that moved to a storage unit for them. And then on top of that, the tenants who weren't paying, we found out the tenant had cancer. They were on bad times. So we were able to give that tenant money for a down payment to move out. And we paid the tenant's first month's rent. It was a very hostile situation between the owner and the tenants. We were able to provide peace of mind. We made incredible profit from doing that. So that got us very excited.
You guys did like such a great job, obviously helping both the tenant as well as the owner as well. I mean, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
And like, let's say for most of the deals which you normally take over, what's like the average closing time you normally see happening?
Yeah, so that deal was, I would say, 21 days. Most of our deals that are, like a cash quick close transaction happen within 30 days or less, 30 business days or less, oftentimes in 2 to 3 weeks. It just really comes down to the title that ends up being our holdup most of the time. Our other transactions do take, on average, I would say, 45 to 60 business days.
Got it.
And that would be stuff that we're putting on the market, doing equitable interest or just a straight up novation. Yeah.
Got it. That's great. And obviously, I know you have been in the real estate market, obviously for a short time. What would you say would be one of the biggest lessons you have learned during this time?
No means not right now. We've had so many different situations where a client says no to us, but then the system that we're using, we have several deals that have happened as someone saying no, not right now, and then ironically, boom, just like that, 30 days later, we're signing with them. I think that's a big thing for sure.
So basically, it's just they're not ready right now, but obviously they're going to be ready in the future. It's just that we got to make sure that we follow up with them and make sure that they don't fall through the cracks.
That's correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. And one last question before we end the show. To all the new investors who are starting out their real estate investing journey, what could be the one piece of advice you could give them so that they could also have a smooth journey?
Oh, man. Well, I can tell you this before I even answer, okay? I had been listening to a podcast since 2019. I sold a company and lost a ton of money on it, all right? So I ended up learning way too much for my own good. My advice to anyone getting started today is take massive action, make mistakes, do not be afraid to fail. Failure is actually where I've learned the most. And so that would be my number one piece of advice. Just do it. Hit a wall, make a call, find out. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And there's someone who's already been there and done that. So just take action and then ask questions.
Thank you so much for the wonderful advice, Carey. I think for a lot of people, I guess taking action or let's say taking the next step, I think that's one of the hardest part of a lot of people I know. It's just then I think once you take that first step, once you take that action, things eventually just works out. Either it's going to be your biggest lesson or it's going to be a biggest success, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We say it's a biggest lesson or the biggest blessing.
Yeah.
The first flip we did, I'll just share this. The first flip we did was out of state. We never saw it. We've never touched it. We never met the contractors. We never had a video call face to face or nothing. So we just took action,
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I mean, obviously, that's like one of the advice which I'm also trying to follow. And a lot of my friends, family also, I would always say, just do it. Just don't wait and see whether things are going to work out. Or just do it. If you have like a good idea on how to execute it, just do it. Let's see what happens later on. Well, thank you so much. Exactly, Carey. Exactly.
Yeah, now's the time.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Carey, for being here with us for Real Talk with Closer Control, episode 6. It's such a pleasure having you here with us on the show. And that's it for today, folks. Tune in next week where we'll be uploading new stories with new investors where we're going to be sharing their journey as well as their updates in the market. And obviously, if you guys are in the same area which Carey is working with, please make sure to connect with Carey so that you guys can basically help each other out or let's say connect with each other for any new deals which are happening as well. So thank you so much, Carey, for being here with us today and see you guys all next week.